some point in your life, you were trained, subtly, quietly, to care too much, to feel deeply, to take things personally. And that, whether you realize it or not, was the first fracture in your armor. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every humiliation that carved into you can be traced back to that single vulnerability. You allowed the world to trespass into your inner world. Niccolo Machiavelli never made that mistake. He didn't live as a man consumed by the chaos of feelings. He observed, dissected, and analyzed people like a physician examines a virus, not with sentiment, but with precision. He knew what most never dare to accept. Peace doesn't come from sensitivity. It comes from killing it. To be untouchable, you must train yourself to become immune, not just to love or hate, but to the entire theater of human praise and shame. Imagine existing in such a way that no insult can pierce you, no betrayal can shatter you, no rejection can bend you. That's not coldness, it's liberation. This video isn't about turning into a statue. It's about becoming free from emotional slavery, about rising into your final form. A person the world cannot bend, a figure Machiavelli himself might fear. But before you get there, you must dismantle the biggest illusion, the lie that keeps you weak, the belief that you matter to others. Society conditions you to think that if you are good, loyal, and honest, others will reciprocate. That if you bare your soul, people will cradle it with care. But Machiavelli understood a darker, more unsettling truth. People are rarely driven by love. They are driven by self-interest. Your worth to others is always conditional. You are valuable only so long as you serve a purpose, fulfill a need, or supply a benefit. The moment that utility disappears, so does their loyalty. This isn't cruelty. It's the architecture of human nature. And the sooner you accept it, the sooner you free yourself. Most suffering comes from a simple delusion, the belief that your pain matters to others. People take betrayal personally. They spiral when disrespected. But these reactions are rooted in a narcissistic bias, the assumption that others' actions revolve around you. They don't. More often than not, others act not out of cruelty, but out of strategy. An insult? It's usually an attempt to elevate themselves. Silence? A way to bait you into chasing. A lie? A tool to bend reality in their favor. And every time you react, whether with anger, heartbreak, or desperation, you hand them power. You become a puppet, tugged by the strings of your own sensitivity. That is the machinery of control. If you want to escape manipulation, you must strip people of their access to your emotions. Stop taking things personally. Stop expecting fairness. Stop assuming morality drives behavior. It doesn't. Self-interest does. The key is not to feel nothing, but to see everything. Replace emotion with calculation. Instead of reacting, ask, what does this person gain by treating me this way? What role am I playing in their story? That subtle shift, from emotional interpretation to strategic analysis, marks the beginning of real strength. But there's more. To become truly unaffected, you must also stop exposing the very vulnerabilities people exploit. Stop over-explaining yourself. Most don't care about your reasons. They care about your results. Stop seeking sympathy. Empathy is temporary until your suffering becomes useful to someone else. Stop oversharing your doubts, fears, or guilt. These aren't confessions. They're weapons others can sharpen against you. Machiavelli would tell you, guard your inner world like a fortress. Say less, show less, remain unreadable. The less visible your emotions are, the less material anyone has to manipulate. Because here's the brutal truth. The The modern world doesn't reward emotional depth. It rewards emotional discipline. Look around. Most people are slaves to their feelings. They rise and fall on the unstable tides of other people's approval, rejection, and attention. But if you can free yourself from the need for validation, if praise doesn't inflate you and criticism doesn't puncture you, you become something rare, something dangerous. That, right there, is true freedom. And in that freedom, you discover the greatest weapon: indifference. Indifference isn't apathy. It isn't carelessness. It's control. It's the ability to decide deliberately where your energy goes. It's walking away from anything that weakens you. It's being able to say, with calm certainty, "You cannot touch me. Not anymore." Machiavelli said, "It is better to be feared than loved." But there is something higher, something beyond both fear and love. To fear nothing and to expect nothing from anyone. That's not just immunity, that's sovereignty. That's how you silence the noise of the world. That's how you rise untouchable. And if you want to reach that state, you must now confront the second root of vulnerability: your emotions themselves. Because most people don't control their emotions. Their emotions control them. They claim to be logical, but one insult shatters them. They claim to be confident, but one rejection empties them. Their feelings are not tools, they are shackles. Machiavelli understood that for anyone seeking true power, whether ruler or ordinary man, emotion is the crack through which the enemy enters. If someone can trigger your anger, they own your reactions. If they can stir your guilt, they control your decisions. If they can ignite your sadness, they hold your spirit in their hands. That isn't freedom. That's servitude. To be free, you must master emotional discipline. This doesn't mean erasing your feelings. It means weaponizing them. Use them when they serve you. Silence them when they don't. Smile when strategy requires it. Stay silent when it confuses. If rage can intimidate, channel it precisely. But never let emotions erupt uncontrolled. Never let them reveal what truly moves you. Because the second the world knows your trigger, the world owns you. Understand? This world isn't kind to openness. It rewards composure, mystery, and self-mastery. Most people, when they hurt, rush to find someone to confide in. They treat emotional unloading as strength, but often it's weakness disguised as honesty. True strength is carrying your pain in silence, repairing your chaos in private, building your fortress where no one can see the cracks. Public vulnerability may feel noble, but in a strategic world, it is simply dangerous. The more you reveal, the easier you are to destroy. Machiavelli would tell you, be a fox among wolves. Smile when expected, laugh when strategic, but never reveal your inner life. Let people see only what benefits you for them to see. The rest, keep locked away. Because here's the truth. Most people don't care about your feelings. And the few who pretend to, they'll weaponize them when it suits their purpose. Stop seeking safety in others. Become your own safety. Stop searching for validation. Validate yourself. Then, suppress it until it becomes useful. Self-control isn't a restraint. It's a weapon. The less you react, the more people fear you. The quieter you become, the more powerful you appear. Because silence is not weakness. Silence is control. And control is everything. Once you begin to master silence, you step into the realm of psychological dominance. Because unpredictability is power. When people know your responses, they can strategize around them. But when you remain unreadable, calm, when anger is expected, smiling when sadness is assumed, silent when they provoke. You force them into confusion. And in that confusion, you gain leverage. This is why training yourself for emotional detachment isn't natural. It's built through repetition and ruthless self-discipline. You must learn your own triggers with surgical honesty. Who provokes you? What words make you lash out? Which situations make you fragile? Identify them. Then, dismantle them. When someone insults you, let the words fall into a void. When someone disrespects you, remain still and let the silence burn them. When someone abandons you, don't chase. Don't even move. Do nothing. Say nothing. Allow your silence to become the loudest sound in the room. Silence, when chosen deliberately, is not passivity. It's control. It forces others to wonder, to project, to imagine. And the more they speculate, the more they reveal themselves. Power is not always in action. Often, it lies in restraint. Machiavelli once wrote that a wise man must appear merciful, faithful, and humane, but must always be prepared to act in the opposite way if necessity demands it. That's emotional power, not transparency, but strategy. To display what is useful and conceal what is real. And make no mistake, control begins within. You cannot hope to shape the external world until you dominate your inner one. This requires a brutal clarity about human nature. Most people walk through life blind, judging appearances, mistaking smiles for sincerity, confusing flattery for loyalty. They believe in masks. They trust words. They let politeness convince them that morality is present. Machiavelli knew better. He understood that behind every gesture, every kindness, every compliment, every pledge of loyalty lies a motive. Most people are driven by fear, ambition, greed, or desperation. Even when they smile, even when they embrace you, they are calculating. And yet the weak cling to dangerous illusions. He would never betray me. She's not like the others. But history, psychology, and your own experience prove otherwise. Give someone power over you, emotional, financial, or social, and watch them change. They don't transform into something new. They simply reveal what was always there. This is why trust is not just risky, it is dangerous. Not because betrayal is rare, but because betrayal is inevitable. To be shocked when someone betrays you is to confess that you never really understood them. A Machiavellian mind doesn't fear betrayal. It anticipates it, prepares for it, even uses it. So stop judging people by what they say. Watch their patterns instead. Don't ask, do they like me? Ask, what do they want? Don't ask, what are they telling me? Ask, what are they hiding from me? Every smile conceals a hunger. Every praise conceals a motive. And once you learn to think this way, you stop being blindsided. You stop being naive. You stop bleeding for illusions. This isn't paranoia. It's perception. The paranoid man sees shadows everywhere. The perceptive man sees reality for what it is. To become that person, you must learn to listen more than you speak. You must watch people, not just in grand gestures, but in the smallest details. The way they speak about those with no status, the envy they cannot hide when others succeed, the hesitation when their own motives slip through. Most of what is true about people is never said out loud. When someone tells you, "I care," ask, what do they gain from caring? When someone insists, "I'll never leave," ask, what happens when leaving benefits them? This is not cynicism, it's clarity. And clarity terrifies people who rely on confusion to control others. They will shame you for it. They will call you cold, distrustful, bitter. Let them. That is the cry of those who can no longer manipulate you, because a mind that sees clearly cannot be deceived. Understand this. To be Machiavellian is not to reject human connection. It is to master it. It is to choose deliberately who gets your attention, who earns your trust, who deserves nothing. It is to treat trust not as a gift, but as a weapon, something given rarely, taken back quickly, and never placed carelessly. The weak give trust like water, flooding anyone who asks for it. The strong ration it like fire, using it only when necessary. Test people with silence. See who grows uneasy when you offer them nothing. Watch who grows resentful when you deny them access. Loyalty proves itself not in words, but in patterns. And betrayal is not an exception. It is the rule. The man who speaks less, who reveals less, who explains less, he becomes the one with the advantage. People underestimate him. They think he is simple, harmless, naive. And in that underestimation, they expose themselves. Let them. It gives you the upper hand. Never reveal all your cards. Never explain your strategy. Keep your life unreadable, your mind a locked vault. Because in Machiavelli's world, the prince who trusts too easily is always the first to fall. But the one who watches quietly, who plays the game but never exposes his hand, that is the one who outlasts them all. If you want peace, stop trusting appearances. If you want power, start studying motives. If you want freedom, learn to expect betrayal before it arrives. Because the man who anticipates the knife never bleeds from it. And that is who you must become. But there is still one final chain left to break: emotional dependency. Most people have no idea how much of their identity rests on the fragile scaffolding of others' opinions. They feel worthy only when loved, confident only when praised, stable only when surrounded by others. And when those supports collapse, so do they. They beg, they chase, they panic. That's not love, that's addiction. Machiavelli would tell you, the man who depends on the affection of others is not a man at all. He is a servant to validation, a slave to attention. He will betray his own principles for approval. He will surrender his freedom for belonging. And in that moment, he loses everything. To be untouchable, you must sever this dependency. You must become someone who needs nothing from anyone. Not their love, not their time, not their praise. Build yourself in such a way that whether you are surrounded by hundreds or entirely alone, you remain the same. Because you will be alone at times. People will leave. They will change. They will forget. And when they do, your strength must remain untouched. That strength can only come from within, from something no one can touch. And to find it, you must face the most brutal question of all. Who am I without validation? Who am I when no one is watching? Most people don't like the answer. That's why they drown themselves in distractions, relationships, and attention. They cannot sit in silence without collapsing. But silence is the crucible. If you can sit alone with your thoughts for hours, unshaken, unpanicked, unneeding, you are becoming something rare, something dangerous. You are becoming solid, unmoved, self-contained. This is the essence of Machiavellian power: to need nothing, to owe nothing, and to feel nothing that can be used against you. To live this way does not mean rejecting others. It means redefining your relationship with them. You no longer cling to people as lifelines. Instead, you stand whole. And if others come into your life, they are a bonus, never a necessity. Stop outsourcing your happiness. Stop renting out your self-worth to the approval of others. If love comes, accept it, but never depend on it. If praise arrives, acknowledge it, but never chase it. The moment you need something from someone, you have already handed them power over you. And once they sense your dependence, they will use it. Desperation has a scent. And in the political jungle Machiavelli described, predators are drawn to it. They manipulate those who cannot survive without affection, who cannot breathe without attention, who cannot move without validation. That is not strength, it is slavery. But when you need nothing, you become the rarest figure of all, the one who holds all the power. Because the person who cannot be bought with love or praise or acceptance, that is the person who controls the game. Machiavelli would tell you, appear to be what others want. Let them believe you can be swayed. But in truth, strip yourself of every dependency. Need nothing, and you will rule everything. This transformation requires killing the habits that keep you weak. Learn to walk alone, not because you despise others, but because you no longer collapse without them. Learn to detach, not because you hate connection, but because you will not let connection become a cage. When your identity is forged in solitude and your peace is built on your own terms, you become immune. Others can come and go. They can love you, betray you, admire you, or despise you. It doesn't matter, because you were never theirs to shape in the first place. Now you begin to understand. This path is not just about strength. It is about sovereignty. You are no longer just another person in the crowd, begging to be seen, terrified of rejection, hungry for validation. You have become something else, a silent force, a presence that cannot be manipulated, broken, or moved. And this transformation doesn't come through noise or violence. It comes through control. Control of your thoughts, control of your reactions, control of your needs. Because in a world where most are ruled by impulse and emotion, the one who masters himself masters everyone else. This is why Machiavelli never wrote for the moral man. He wrote for the man who wants to win. And to win, you cannot cling to illusions. You must see reality as it is, cold, strategic, brutal. Stop expecting fairness. Stop hoping for loyalty. Stop assuming kindness will be repaid. Use reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. That is the only way forward. And remember, power does not scream. Power does not beg. Power does not argue. The strongest figure in the room is the one who doesn't need to prove anything. His silence is already proof. His restraint is already dominance. Let others burn with emotions. Let them chase status, scream for attention, drown in chaos. You remain still. You watch. You calculate. You respond only when necessary. And when you do act, your move is final, precise, irreversible. A king never argues. A king never begs. A king commands. That is who you become when nothing affects you anymore. And here's the paradox. Being unaffected does not mean feeling nothing. It means controlling what deserves your emotions and what deserves only your silence. It means your mood is not hijacked by people who don't matter. Your decisions are not dictated by guilt, fear, or desire. Your peace is no longer a gift others can give or take away. It is a throne you built with your own hands. But be warned, as you change, the world will resist. People will accuse you of being distant, cold, selfish. They will resent that you no longer play by their rules. that you refuse to carry expectations you never agreed to bear. Let them resent. Let them talk. Let them fall away. Because you don't owe anyone your vulnerability. You don't owe anyone your peace. Your life is not a service built for the comfort of others. It is a battlefield, and you are now armed. Every insult ignored, every betrayal expected, every loss endured in silence. This is how you become untouchable, not by luck, not by circumstance, but by discipline, by destroying your weakness before the world can use it against you. That is true freedom. Machiavelli once wrote that it is better to be feared than loved. But if you read deeper, what he truly taught was this: it is better to be in control, better to be prepared, better to be immune. Love fades, loyalty breaks, but control, that endures. And now, you have it. You are no longer the man who shatters at the first sign of chaos. You are the one who walks through storms with calm certainty. You are not shaken by betrayal, nor inflated by praise. You are not ruled by the noise of the world. You have become the storm itself. This is the final stage: sovereignty over yourself. A mastery so complete that no one and nothing can ever hold power over you again. Because in a world where almost everyone is ruled by emotion, the one who controls himself rules everyone else.